Alright, so today we have our first NBA mock draft of the 2026 season. The lottery order is now set. I wanted to wait till it was set to start doing some of these. I know a good amount of the first round prospects. I don't know them all, but as time goes on, before we have the draft, I'll get familiar and I'll have a more detailed outlook and scouting report on some of the prospects. But I want to go ahead and start with our NBA content. So here's our first 2026 NBA mock draft. And at pick 1, I don't really think you can mess up this pick with the Wizards. You have a plethora of places you could go. Obviously, you have Trae Young. You have Anthony Davis as kind of your I want to get over the hump type pieces and get into that playoff contention. You have your young players that show some promise in Trey Johnson, Alex Sarr, and Keyshawn George. But we all know this is a very loaded draft. And with that being said, I think no matter what, whether you think it's team fit or whatever, at some point, Anthony Davis, you're going to have to move off him. Trae Young, you need a lot of things to be able to cover up his weaknesses. So I think you have to go with the 6'9", slashing scorer from BYU, AJ Debonsa. When you watch him, he's a very lengthy player. You can watch him take two steps from a step in from the three-point line and get to the rim. He knows how to use his length to get to where he needs to go on the court, whether he's getting to his mid-range or he's getting all the way to the basket. He also is able to draw fouls because he puts so much pressure on the person guarding him, having to move very far in such a short amount of time with the steps that he takes to get to the basket. He shows that he can be a volume three-point shooter in the league. He gets to the foul line at a really high rate, which is something that projects for superstars. If you can get to the foul line, you will be able to average more points and you will be able to conserve energy while scoring points because you're there. It just projects as he at least has this type skill for a NBA level scorer that wants to be at the highest level. So I have the Wizards going AJ Debonsa. At pick number 2, the Jazz could go a lot of places with this, but because they do have Lauri Markkanen, they do have Jaren Jackson Jr., who are both, I would say, kind of similar players. Obviously, Jaren is a better defender, but they both kind of stretch the floor. Jaren doesn't really rebound, but Lauri rebounds. They're both that kind of stretch forward that you need on the team. So I feel like it would be, even though Carlos Boozer started there and now he also works for the Utah Jazz, I feel it would be kind of redundant to put another 4-man on the team when you also have Walker. It's just a lot of bigs. So I'm going to go Darren Peterson. He can play off ball. In high school, he showed he could play on ball. Him with Keontae George, I think that would be a fun backcourt for now and the future, and for Utah to start building a championship level core. At pick number 3, the Grizzlies need to go best player available. Now, obviously, Cameron Boozer's floor is higher than Caleb Wilson's floor because of the fundamentals. I look at Cameron Boozer as like an Al Horford type prospect, whereas Caleb Wilson is more boom or bust because he doesn't do anything. His motor is what makes him so good, and his rebounding. But as an offensive threat, it's a lot of mid-range. He's still developing the three-point shot. He's developing a handle. But I don't think the Grizzlies are trying to win right now. I think they are going to go for highest upside instead of best player available. So I'm going to go Caleb Wilson. Now, the Bulls, on the other hand, they have Matas Buzelis. They have Josh Giddey. They have some pieces where you can see, okay, I can see them start trying to build into that playoff contention. and they just need something that's solid that they can also add to that core. And I feel like that's an easy pick to go Cameron Boozer. They also were a host for Carlos Boozer for a very for a good amount of time during his career. So I have Cameron Boozer going number 4. At number 5, you have the Clippers. The Clippers traded for Darius Garland. They traded for Benedict Mathurin. So they kind of have their future backcourt. Benedict Mathurin showed me some things down the stretch that he can be a starting 2 guard. Darius Garland. The thing about Darius Garland is I wouldn't say he's a great offensive player. He's a good offensive player, but he's a smaller guard, and he's not a very good defender. So they could go there. They also, they after trading Zubac, they kind of don't have a big, so they could go a big, but I think this is really early for another one. What I'm thinking is, as they go, they could start kind of transferring Darius Garland into a off the bench microwave scorer and somebody that can run the offense. Whereas Kingston Fleming, I saw his measurements with the wingspan, but he's 6'3", he's quick, he's fast, he takes pride under the defensive end. He's a great mid-range jump shooter. He's a good passer. He can shoot the 3. I think he's not a much bigger guard, but he's a bigger guard that will give you defense, which is something that you need. So I have the Clippers going Kingston Flemings. Next we have the Nets. With the Nets, I feel like they haven't really had a direction of where or what or how they've kind of wanted to go. They've drafted a lot of guards and tried to mesh it all together. I don't think it has worked just yet. I saw a couple positive things from their rookies, but I didn't see anything that was just like eye-popping this year. So I could see them drafting for upside. I think they will trade Michael Porter Jr. and just really go the tanking route. For me, this pick is out of Keaton Wagler and Nate Amit. I think they will want to bet on the upside of Amit because he's a little bigger. So I'm going to go Amit. At pick 7, the Kings kind of need everything. And you still have a lot of great prospects. I like Keaton Wagler. I like Acuff. I like Brown. You have a lot of good guard prospects. All of them kind of have some sort of deficiencies. With Wagler, I think it's his self-creation in isolation. I think he's a great pick-and-roll creator. But as far as in isolation, I don't see a whole lot, and his frame is very wiry. I think he needs to add some muscle, which he's only 19. He can very much do so. Acuff is his defensive deficiencies, as well as him being just a smaller guard. But he showed that he can lead a team at a high level, at a high usage rate. Michael Brown is just the injuries. But I have the Kings going Keaton Wagler. At 8, the Hawks. Obviously, we know they traded away Trae Young, and Darius Acuff isn't the same player, but he's that same usage rate type of guy. And they have that young core with Alexander Walker and Dyson Daniels. You got Jalen Johnson, Onyeka Okongwu. You have a lot of good young pieces. You have CJ McCollum's getting older. I don't think you have a true point guard. I don't. It's a lot of my turn, your turn type offense. So for me, they could go Acuff, but I think they would want to go with somebody that's a little bit bigger. So I'm gonna go Michael Brown. as he has really good passing, and obviously he can knock down the three at a high level. I think it's just the injuries that could scare teams off. At 9, we have the Mavericks. I see the Mavericks. Cooper Flag, you couldn't have asked for a better rookie year as far as his growth and development, and what he showed from game 1 to game 82. It was completely different. Obviously, Kyrie was hurt pretty much all year. He didn't really have a highly talented crew of teammates. AD was gone. He was hurt, then he got traded. Like I said, Kyrie was hurt. Clay is getting older, didn't have his best year. So you're having to rely on guys like Brandon Williams and Najee Marshall to pick up the slack. So I just think they need a dynamic point guard. So I'm gonna go Darius Acuff. He can learn from Kyrie for a couple years before Kyrie eventually retires, and Coop and Acuff have the reins. At 10, the Milwaukee Bucks. They're looking like they're gonna trade Giannis, so which I feel like they could have got more value had they traded him at the deadline, but they decided to wait. Now Giannis kind of has more leverage on where he gets traded, so that'll be interesting to look at. I think I like what I saw from Ryan Rollins. I think you could have made a case that he was most improved. But they don't have a lot of young talent. They don't have a lot of talent in general. I could see them going guard. I could see them going wing. I see them trying to take somebody with some upside. So I wouldn't put Yaxel Lindenberg here because he is 23 and will be 24 by the time the season starts, and that's just kind of not in their timeline right now. For me, the pick is out of Kareem Lopez from the New Zealand Breakers. Pretty athletic wing, strong, shows he can defend. Self-creation, his lateral quickness it's not top tier, so his self-creation wouldn't be as great as it is in the NBL as it is in the NBA. But he can knock down a three. He has an NBA body, so I'm gonna go Kareem Lopez. At pick 11, my favorite team, the Golden State Warriors. It was a year. Injuries first and foremost. The Kuminga situation. Here, I think they kind of learn from their mistakes and don't take projects, but they take something that they know. And I think this pick is pretty easy. I think they take Lindenberg. I think he was 38% from three this year. He showed he could handle it a little bit, create his own offense. He rebounds, he defends. I think he would fit right in with the culture, so I'm going to go Lindenberg. Pick 12, the rich just get richer. You just what do you do? I think they take Steinbach. Jalen Williams, big Jalen Williams is coming up on his contract, I believe. You have Chet, you have Hardenstein. I think you take somebody that can fit. He's a stretch 4 or 5. He rebounds. I think he could work a little bit more on the defensive end, but he kind of fits that winning culture that they're trying to build. At pick 13, I have Braden Burries. Just because I saw Braden Burries be able to create his own shot. Some Miami needs at the guard spot outside of Tyler Hero. They don't really have it. I know they signed Norman Powell, but that's for him to come off the bench. They need more self-creation. And this also lets you potentially put Tyler Hero in a trade package. Maybe if you're able to keep 13, trade next year's pick. For Giannis, I'm sure that Milwaukee will want pick 13, but like I said, they've kind of lost leverage and really have to trade Giannis to where he wants to go. So pick 13, I'm going to go Braden Burries. At pick 14, the Hornets, I think where they lack is in the front court, obviously. I know you have Brandon Miller at the 3, Miles Bridges, but he's 6'6". You have a lot of 6'6" to 6'8" guys. For me, it could go any three places. It could go Koa Pete, although I don't think he goes that high just because of how much work needs to go into developing his offensive game. Sinak showed he can kind of be a mid-range scorer, but I think he doesn't have a specific trait where it's like, okay, I know how he fits. So I'm gonna go a Daymar. Excuse me if I mispronounce it, but he shows he can really pass, he can rebound. I think he would fit perfectly for that high-paced team because he's only going to play about 25 minutes a game. But it's somebody where you can get, you can throw down to the post, run some off-ball stuff for Khan, or pick and roll where he can make a good decision in a short roll off of a team doubling LaMelo or anything like that. So at 14, we have the Bulls again. We had them go Cameron Boozer. And with their second their second first round pick, I got them going Labaron Philon. They traded for Rob Dillingham. I think Rob, at this point in his career, is going to be more of an off the bench guy. And Philon is somebody that does defend. He can score the ball. He can create in isolation. He's good in pick and roll. I think he would fit in with that core, especially with him and Cam Boozer. I think they could build pretty good synergy. And with Matas cutting off of action and Giddey, you can play Philon off ball, Giddey on ball. And when Giddey is developing his three-point shot, you can play him off ball, Philon on ball. So I like that pick. At pick 16, you have the Grizzlies again, and they took the high upside with Caleb Wilson with their first pick. And here's where I still know names like Christian Anderson had a really great season for Texas Tech. Isaiah Evans, really good shooter for Duke, that I could see them going there to add more shooting. I don't see them going double front court in the draft, so I think I will go Isaiah Evans. I think the Grizzlies would want a young 3-and-D type shooter, just to have in their core as they build to try to get back into that playoff contention. Who knows what happens with Ja, but I have them going Isaiah Evans. At pick 17, you have the Thunder back on the board. They also have some guard contracts coming up. I know they just traded for Jared McCain. It's not a place where a rookie is gonna go in and play at this point. You have a lot of guards. You have a solid team, but what Oklahoma City does is they draft and stash really well. So where somebody comes in and you're like, wow, I forgot about that guy, how good he was. So in this instance, I can see them going Chris Sinak. I could also see them going Christian Anderson, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to draft Christian Anderson for the Oklahoma City Thunder. At pick 18, you have the Hornets back on the clock. I can see them trying to get an off-the-bench scorer, somebody that will defend, and that's where I'm going to go Tunde Yesufu. Really has a nice frame. His frame kind of reminds you of Anthony Edwards. He's not that caliber of athlete, but he can defend. He can create a little bit. I think it would be somebody nice to come off the bench and give you a spark, whether it be defensively or it's cutting around the rim, or just making plays in general. At pick 19, you have the Toronto Raptors. They obviously have Scotty Barnes. They picked a boy out of South Carolina last year. I'm blanking on his name, but they have a lot of front court players. They don't have a prominent backcourt guy, and this is where I think it starts to get a little light. But I definitely see them drafting a guard, and where they have Emmanuel Quickly, but I don't think he's your point guard of the now, point guard of the future. So I could see them going Cameron Carr or Ben Sturts. So I'm gonna give him Ben Sturts. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. At 20, San Antonio Spurs. I think where they lack is front court depth. Jaden Quintance, I don't know how to pronounce it, but he had a great 2024-2025 year. Obviously, this year didn't go as planned. You could also go Chris Sinak, just as a high defensive motor guy. Either one I think would fit in that system, but I'm gonna go Chris Sinak. At pick 21, you have the Detroit Pistons. They need shooting. They really need shooting. I know they're still alive right now in the playoffs, but they need shooting. And the player I am looking for, did he go back to school? He may not have declared. Wow. I thought the guy from UConn, I'm blanking on his name, but I thought he would declare, and it doesn't look like he has. So as far as what they could do, I don't see them going Jaden, even though he could be an Isaiah Stewart type replacement. I don't know too much about Cameron Carr's game, but they do need a wing shooter. They have a lot of defenders, but they need floor spacing. But I'm gonna go Cameron Carr. At pick 22, 76ers, another team that needs front court depth. I think this is a perfect spot for Koa Pete to go in and just develop his game and not feel rushed into developing his game, as they have core pieces already. At 23, this is where I can see Jaden Quintance going to the Hawks. They need a little bit more front court depth, some rebounding, some defense. So I think he would be a good pick. At 24, the Knicks. I think the Knicks need just more center depth between Mitchell Robinson. Cat really plays a 4, so you need another center. So I'm gonna go Henry Visar. 25, you have the Lakers. The Lakers, they need a big. I don't think they will bring back Jackson Hayes. I don't know if they will, if Ayton will pick up his option, but they need a big. So I'm gonna go Morris Johnson Jr. At pick 26, you have the Nuggets. They kind of just got whooped out of the playoffs. They need defense. Obviously, they couldn't defend. That's why they lost. They couldn't defend. So I'm gonna go Amari Allen. I know that Alabama head coach, he really preaches defense. So you don't play for him if you cannot play defense. The Celtics, the CBA is really gonna affect them. I don't know if they can keep Derek White, but also their front court wasn't very. Jason Tatum was their best center. So I think they need to beef up the front court depth. And with that being said, I'm going to give them Allen Graves out of Santa Clara. At pick 28, you have the Timberwolves. They, outside of Jaden McDaniels, I don't think they have a wing defender. I know obviously Anthony Edwards plays defense, but he's 6'4". TJ Shannon 6'3". So I'm going to go Dalen Swain out of Texas. At pick 29, you have the Cavaliers. They traded off Darius Garland. They have James Harden, Donovan Mitchell. That's their backcourt. You have Max Strus. You have Jalen Tyson. I don't really think you have a backup point guard per se. I think you have backup ball handlers, but not a backup point guard. So I'm going to go Ibuka Okori out of Stanford. And then lastly, at pick 30 for the Mavericks, our last pick in the first round, I feel like they could go a lot of different places, but I'm going to go Malik Thomas They get 2 Arkansas guys. They start building a backcourt for Cooper Flagg to be able to play off of, to where he's not always having to be on ball. And I think that would be well to start a young core, kind of like how Malik Thomas also defends, and you could start a young core like how the Spurs did. So here are our full results. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Who do you think goes where? Inform me on some of these prospects that I don't know. I would much appreciate it. I'm always willing to learn. Thanks for the support. I'm trying to get more content out on YouTube. Make sure y'all follow me on Twitter and TikTok, as I pretty much get daily content out on there. And just thank you. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, and we'll be back.